Old man Woody likes the crooked cock.
More modern take.
Okay.
I want
right,
to talk
so
to MrBeast. Oh, I thought there was going to be
Go
a break
ahead.
there.
No, we can't. He was about to suggest something.
Oh, well, no, go for it, Woody.
Dude, I feel like we got MrBeast on here and we're talking about cartoons. Like, come on, bro.
Well,
Like,
to be fair,
Excuse me, anime.
Anime.
cartoons.
I
All right.
wanted to know an anime.
MrBeast, you've blown up in the last 2 years, right? Suddenly you have access to everything. Casey Neistat wants you on his channel. How's that ride been for you? Like, is it flipping you out? Is it you just like not paying attention? Your old friends look at you differently than they used to? Go ahead.
Well, I think it's a little different for me from the last part of that question because I'm in North Carolina. So I don't think there's as many clout chasers here. So it's like almost everyone treats me and looks at me the exact same, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I don't have some dramatic story. And yeah, it has been 2 years, but am coming up on a decade of doing it. So it seems kind of just natural, you know what I mean? And I've just chased it my whole life. So
I know you've been doing it for a decade, but you've blown up in the last couple of years, right? Casey Neistat didn't want you in 2012 or whatever.
Yeah. No, I get what you mean. Yeah, we did 15 million subscribers in a year. So,
Insane.
15 million in a year is outrageous.
I know. It is pretty crazy, but I don't know. I've just obsessed, and I mean everyone here that I have under me like obsesses, and we just put in so much time that it just kind of, not to sound arrogant, it just feels kind of earned a little bit. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
we just put dumb amounts of time into every video, and we try to always put in like 10 times more effort than everyone else is, and it just kind of seems natural. Like, why would people not watch our videos if we're putting in more time than everyone else and more money than everyone else? I mean, I probably put more time into just thinking of literally just the idea of the video than most people put into filming, editing, and thinking of their idea. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
Do you ever get
the highlighted GTA playthroughs? What do you mean? All 8
those are pretty
great.
Beast, do you ever get demotivated to do some of the personal suffering that goes into your videos? Like, if someone pitches an idea like, yeah, I want you to stay underwater for 24 hours again, are you just like, fuck, no, no?
Well, so that's part of it, is just keeping the channel fresh. I mean, it depends what stage of my life. Like, I used to, especially right after I dropped out of college, dude, I was all in. Like, I literally seriously wanted to count to 1 million, which is ridiculous. It's like 40 days of counting.
Yeah,
so I only got to like 300,000.
Wait, you mean count as in like 1, 2, 3?
Yeah.
Because I counted to
1,000,000.
100,000 and then 200,000, 300,000. I mean, I was doing challenges left and right. Like, I had no future. It was either make it work or McDonald's. So I was going all in. But as time progressed, my love for doing long endurance challenges has kind of fallen off. I mean, but it's just natural. No matter what it is, you just slowly, like, if you're doing the same thing over and over again, you just get tired of it. So that's why I constantly try to keep the content fresh and stuff like that. I could still really bank it out, but it's just, I don't know, as weird as it sounds, there was a time where I enjoyed doing stuff like that. Now it's kind of like, it's whatever, you know?
Enjoy, and you might have found, I'll make up a number, $500 to be a really motivational thing for like a 12-hour endurance challenge. Now $500 maybe doesn't motivate you in the same way it used to.
Well, it's not really, I'm not really that much money driven. It's more like fame and like it's a lot of things. Like, I like helping people. It all ties together well, because like I need money to help people, and I need money to grow quicker, and I like growing quicker because it helps. Like, I don't know how to put it, but there's like 3 things that kind of drive me. I want money so I can help people, and I like helping people, and I kind of like grow it on YouTube. So
is it weird to be a kingmaker like that? Like, for people who don't know, he has videos where is $10,000 tip the biggest you've done for like a waitress?
Oh, no, I mean, we're 30? Doing like $100,000 giveaways on a lot of videos now.
Is a tip to a waitress is one I have in my head though? Like,
no, the last time we did a waitress, I think that was 30,000.
Okay, yeah. Dude,
only 30.
It was pretty neat. Did the $30,000 tip also get like one of the really weak tips? It doubled every time, right?
Oh yeah. So the whole video was 30, and then we did like $1. We did a penny, $1, 2, 5, 10, 100, and we just worked our way up, and then we left a $10,000 tip at the very end. Yeah.
But did the penny person get a better tip later on? I want to say they did. No?
Nah, fuck that bitch. We can't.
Oh, no, okay. I think I invented
this. Watching the video later, like son of a.
Yeah, I think I invented this narrative in my head where like the penny tip or the dollar tip was cool about it. And they came back and like 10,000, but I just made that up.
No, it's cool. I'm gonna be like super sweet to someone else later.
To be fair, all we did was order water. So they took 2 steps. They grabbed the water, put it down. It's not like I screwed them over. But,
I'm not knocking you.
It's a good bit. I like that.
No, like some of the more recent ones would be like we went into a store and we bought literally every item in the store and then just took it to like a homeless shelter and donated it all and things like that. They just keep getting bigger and bigger somehow.
Do you ever
what kind of store did you go to?
Save a Lot. So it was like $70,000 for all the items in it because it was mostly food. Because obviously we wanted to go to a mini Walmart, but like there's a lot of electronics and stuff that like rack up the price. So we had to do a grocery store. So it like stayed reasonable.
Really cool. When you do this stuff, does it make you want to be selective about who you're king making? You know, like there's some like, all right, we're gonna give 60 grand to a homeless guy. Can we find one that rescued some babies from a fire?
Okay, well, we don't do so. Last time we did a homeless video, we spent $100,000 and we on supplies and we gave it to a homeless shelter. We don't give money straight to homeless people, or if we do, it's like in the form of gift cards for food, so they can't like buy drugs or anything.
That would be like assisted suicide for heroin if you just
exactly. I did it one time. I gave a homeless guy 10 grand. And then afterwards, like everyone's like, you shouldn't do that. And then I did a lot of research. And I was like, oh, yeah, I really shouldn't do that. And so ever since then, like we're very careful who we give large sums of money to.
Oh, yeah, that's
was it your goal from the start to be like, was this model your goal from the start, or did it evolve into the helping people and being kind of philanthropic?
Yeah. Well, from the start, it's kind of hard because I started when I was 12. So like back then, I was literally just beating my meat and playing Minecraft. I didn't know what I was doing. But
nothing's changed for me.
Actually, beating his meat is where the count to 1,000,000 challenge was born.
There's the time where I'm counting to 100,000 and I just like snooze off. But it does look like I'm just beating my meat. Like I just goes off. The way my arm's moving. And people are like, Jimmy starts to masturbate at blah, blah, blah time in. I'm like, I swear, I did not beat my meat this entire video. But people are like, right here, your arm's moving up and down. What are you doing? I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. But
how old are you now? Just real quick.
21.
Oh, I'm a fucking loser.
Great. You're just in time to get spoiled by alcohol.
I'm never gonna drink. I don't really care for it.
Nice.
I really do want to be like incredibly successful. I mean, I want to make lots of money and help lots of people, and I just feel like it's not a good habit to have.
You're probably correct.
Yeah, you're right.
But
put all that booze money into.
They all give me shit when I say stuff like that. It's not fair.
Shut up, Woody. Go buy some more alcohol.
See?
You've already lived your life. You can't help shit. Just go buy alcohol and drink with us, all right?
Yeah, Woody, you're on the final lap.
It's downhill from you.
When I go to YouTube parties, that's where I get a lot of shit for it too. People are like, have a beer. I'm like, I'll pass. And I'll hand it to one of my friends. I'm like, but like, do people like take it as an offense when I don't drink?
No. Here's what you say. Oh, I can't. I'm driving.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
No, nobody will question you.
Even though I Uber to 90% of these things.
Did they know?
I have a lot of sober friends in the music industry. They drink seltzer water or like carbonated water, and then they just put a lime in there, and nobody ever goes like, "Hey, dude, why aren't you? Why aren't you drinking?
Drink from a straw."
They taught us that.
Just give an excuse that doesn't make sense. So they're like, "Want a beer?" And it's like, "Oh no, I'm good."
It works for Kevin Spacey.
Well, that's good. It seems like you got your head on straight.
What'd you say?
Didn't you ask me, like, did I have this idea from the start, or?
Yes. Like, did it start out this way, like with the philanthropic leanings, or did it evolve?
Yeah. So that was just, I brought that back up because that's something that is interesting to me. Is that I had kind of had that idea for years, but I literally just never had money, and I had kept telling myself like, I'm going to do one viral video, and I'm going to take the money from that, and I'm going to do another one, and then that money and do another one, and I'm just going to create like a
like a waterfall cycle,
where I just keep taking the money and reinvest it. And actually, like the first time I ever got a brand deal, it was $10,000, and I put it on that video, and then I took the money from that video and I put it on the next one, and it actually worked out exactly as I had planned. And and they just kept going bigger and bigger, and I just kept giving away all the money. I mean, if like I made money, I was like annoyed. Like I wanted to just reinvest every single penny I made.
I want you to pocket one of these, man. MrBeast.
I've been listening to Woody complain about how you're not making enough money for like 2 hours now. I just please tell him you're not gonna go broke in a well.
I just want good things for him. He's doing good things for other people.
Well, it's funny because there were multiple times I almost went broke. I was like, oh boy. It's
like I went to the roulette table, I put it on red, and I just kept doubling it and doubling it and doubling it, and it keeps working out. I'm like, bro, just pocket one, pocket a couple, like because you're a good guy. I just know you through your videos. I want good things for you, so pocket some.
Well, see, I think I got a good idea for a video. $20,000 giveaway to the poorest person you're currently on a podcast with.
Dude, how often does that happen? Like, how often do people say, oh, you're a kingmaker? I wouldn't mind being a king.
Yeah, so by kingmaker, do you mean like a guy who gives away money?
Yeah, like you can change lives with some of these. Like you gave $10,000 to a waitress. I bet that made a big impact.
Yeah, I haven't calculated it in a long time, but I mean, we've given away millions of dollars to random people. I mean, there's so many people we give them money to at this point.
Do you have to tip big
money on Twitter for fun and
all the time? Like when you go and just like get regular food and you're not making a video, you're like, okay, 40%.
What, in tips?
Yeah.
I'd usually just tip $100 just for fun, because I have had literally anytime I just do like a normal tip in the past, waiters will be like, oh, MrBeast is a liar, MrBeast is a fake. Or like one time a fan paid for my meal, so I didn't get my bill. And then that waitress is going off on me on Twitter, like, MrBeast stiffed me, because apparently the person who paid for my meal didn't leave a tip. I never got a bill. So I literally, I don't carry cash. So I had no way of tipping her. And I literally just replied to her. I was like, someone paid for my meal. I literally didn't even get a chance to tip. What do you want from me, woman? And my reply got like 50,000 likes, and then she privated her Twitter. But yeah.
You're so powerful. I don't know that you know.
So I just do $100 tips, and I'm just like, all right, no one's flaming me online anymore. That's like 5 times what the meal costs. Be happy.
Like, it seems like you really genuinely enjoy, seeing people happy and seeing their lives change and giving that away. Is there one instance of that throughout your career that sticks out more than the most, that like just really gave you that groundswell of emotion, or like, oh, this feels better than any of the rest? Not
really. Like, they're all me just kind of chasing that high of like throwing a large sum of money at someone and just being like, how do they react? But I mean, like, I don't know. For me, it's kind of like, I make money because I want to have fun. I want to enjoy it. And like, that's kind of what I enjoy. Like,
you're so much a better person than me. I've thought about this before. And if I had that level of wealth and doing shit, like, I've already like realized I would go through town in a limo with a moonroof, and I would have a potato gun that I would fill with rolls of cash, and I would fire it at unsuspecting homeless people. And they'd be pissed. They'd be pissed at first when like the wad of cash hit them in the chest and knocks the wind out. But then I'm just like, surprise! And they've got like
a bully-based charity. I like it.
It's a bully-based charity. And it's a prank channel. And you know what? And this term's so loosely used, I could call it a social experiment.
Beast, has there ever been a bad choice? Have you ever given someone like, I don't know, $1,000, and they're like, what a dick, or like you just wished you hadn't?
I'm sorry, guys. I didn't know it was that, David Duke.
Well, it's like I told you before, when I gave the homeless guy $10,000.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
That could have gone way worse. Like, not that like it went bad, but you know what I mean? Like, something could have happened to him. And that was pretty reckless, because that was the first one I ever did. And then, I don't know. I mean, most of the time it's like, I'll tip a pizza guy like a few $1,000s, and they'll like come back the next day crying. Like, you're like, I can get off work today and spend it with my daughter because of this. Like, and it's people are incredibly emotional, even when like on some of the smaller ones I've done. So I don't know. Like, I'm not going to be overcritical. Like, yeah, a waiter's giving us subpar service, but I'm like, well, we're here to tip $5,000, and I don't feel like going to a different restaurant, but it's like, it's no big deal,
Yeah. That should be a policy, though. You're like, I'm giving away a lot of money. but service better be spectacular.
It's like anything you do, you know, somebody has a bad day. Like serving people is the hardest shit in the world. Everybody's, you know, every customer is different. So like having a baseline of like, I'm going to tip 20% regardless of how bad they do, because it may just be a bad day. They're not a bad person. Like you know, sunk cost fallacy. If you already ate the meal, like, you're not going to get up.
Well, we're not talking about 20%. We're talking about 20, like
right.
200,000.
20 grand. Yeah.
I'm with Taylor on this one. Like, you know, if I was going to tip $5,000, but my drink was empty the whole time.
Yeah.
What about second breakfast?
Maybe we should just knock $1,000 off for that.
It's just so you know, you only got $4,000 because of that.
It's like that old.
You guys are fucked
because
up.
the ketchup was empty.
You could have been richer if you just filled my goddamn water quicker.
Yeah,
You dumb bitch.
it's funny. But some of the stuff we're working on now is we're working on setting up an actual homeless shelter that I run.
Awesome.
That's been a bigger project, and then doing a video where we trying to plant like 20 million trees. Like we're trying to like keep scaling up and going bigger and bigger. So it's interesting. It'll be cool to see, or not cool, but just interesting to see where like my peak is. Like because we're just literally going bigger and bigger every single month, and like I'm like at some point like I don't think I'm gonna just be able to keep going bigger. You know?
Yeah. Eventually, everything plateaus.
We were talking about, so I often think about the generations and the waves of YouTubers, right? Like,
yeah, I've heard you say that before.
Okay, yeah. So like I would say that the equivalent of me in like the fame scale would be like only.
I ended on that note. I love the
That was the
wordplay.
best
Very
shit
nice.
I've ever heard.